Trump delivered a fiery speech before the top US military commanders. In his 71-minute-long address, Trump touched on issues far beyond defense policy. From Ukraine to Gaza and back to Washington, US President juggled through various topics. Trump hailed his decision to send National Guards in US cities, adding that the troops could use these deployments for training purposes as well. He said that the war is on the home front and US military is reawakening the warrior spirit.
Together we're reawakening the warrior spirit, and this is a spirit that won and built this nation. And from the cavalry that tamed the Great Plains to the ferocious, unyielding power of Patton, Bradley, and the great General Douglas MacArthur, these are all great men. In this effort, we're a team, and so my message to you is very simple. I am with you, I support you, and as president, I have your backs 100%. Together we're...
Now, Donald Trump, who is also the commander-in-chief of U.S. Armed Forces, questioned the aesthetics of U.S. warships, which he described as ugly. And once again, he expressed his love for the word tariff and struck the Nobel Peace Prize string. Listen to this.
Will you get the Nobel Prize? Absolutely not. They'll give it to some guy that didn't do a damn thing. They'll give it to a guy that wrote a book about the mind of Donald Trump and what it took to solve the wars. And he'll get the Nobel Prize will go to a writer. No, but well, let's see what happens. But it's be a big insult to our country. I will tell you that. I don't want it. I want the country to get it.
Throughout the speech, the audience of generals and admirals remained mostly silent, as is tradition within the military for the political speeches. Sensing the silence, Trump even joked, saying, "I have never walked into a room so silent." And speaking before Trump, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth struck a more hardline tone. He said the era of Department of Defense is over and the time has begun for the Department of War, which, by the way, the US has spent over $1 billion bringing in just that change in name. He called for an end to military diversity programs, demanding that combat jobs meet the highest male standard only.
And that's why today, at my direction, the era of unprofessional appearance is over. No more beardos. The era of rampant and ridiculous shaving profiles is done. Simply put, if you do not meet the male-level physical standards for combat positions, cannot pass a PT test, or don't want to shave and look professional, it's time for a new position or a new profession.
Tough words from the Defense Secretary there. Now, Hegseth urged any officer who disagreed with his vision to do the honorable thing and just resign. He criticized retired generals who have clashed with Trump. All this unfolded against the backdrop of a potential government shutdown unless lawmakers reach a last-minute deal. U.S. federal agencies will begin closing non-essential services starting from tomorrow in the U.S., today in the other side. All right, there's more on this from Susan, who sends us this report from New York.
At Quantico, President Trump addressed hundreds of senior military leaders alongside Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, urging for a sweeping reset of military culture. He declared that the U.S. faces an invasion from within, proposing to use U.S. cities as training grounds, and warned generals that dissent could jeopardize their ranks as well as their future. He joined Hegseth's firm tone, endorsing the end of quote-unquote political correctness and promising merit-based leadership and backing new fitness, grooming, and disciplinary reform. The speech followed Hegseth's newly unveiled 10-point military ethos plan that consists of physical fitness mandates, stricter standards, and demands for resolute leadership, and framed Trump's vision as aligned with that directive. Susan Tehrani reporting from New York for WION World is One.